This is Hinjusatsu, and I just got back to talk about the latest entry of the Jurassic Park/World franchise, Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards. Ever since this year started, there are no interesting movies to see in theaters. Of course, I've seen Sonic the Hedgehog 3 late in 1 month after 2024 just ended. But now came the trailer, which dropped during Super Bowl, and the merchandising kicked into gear eventually, adding fuel to the hype. That and the addition of the latest Netflix series of Jurassic World Chaos Theory, which is actually good. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I want to talk about is one major fact. Is it good? And do I like or love it? Well, first, allow me to talk about the previous films. Jurassic Park is a very good movie. It revolutionized visual effects with the advent of CGI after earlier works like Abyss and Terminator, along with a blend of incredible animatronic works while giving lovable characters, awesome and suspenseful adventure, and talk of themes, power, control, and play on God, and to this point will always be Steven Spielberg's biggest film to date, and one of my favorite from not only Spielberg, but one of my favorite dinosaur movies. Lost World Jurassic Park is a step up from the first in theory. Besides the darker tone, it has an interesting premise of preserving the life and well-being of the existing dinosaurs, expanding on its world building, and continues to utilize with its themes of greed and control. It even has moments of action and suspense, but much more to a high stakes of degree. But when compared to the quality of the first film, it slightly falters. With the exception of Jeff Goldblum and Pete Postlethwaite, the human characters are underdeveloped and often bland, and in some respects has no reason of being made, with one fact being that Michael Crichton made a follow-up to his novel because of pressure from both fans and Spielberg alike, so he can direct the movie adaptation. Still, a good movie. Jurassic Park 3 is the weakest, of course. The plot feels so paint by numbers to the point where it has a fan film quality to its detriment. Many characters are flat out less developed and just unlikable. There seems to be the notion that the movie is making interesting plot points that might help but are never played on so much as hinted. Not overall awful, but still a bad movie. Almost 15 years since the franchise remained dormant, came Jurassic World in 2015. This one is better than Jurassic Park 3, and rejuvenated this series with trying to recapture the spirit of the original, while the series feels fresh by retconning the sequels while serving as a sequel to the original in its right. I really enjoyed this movie a lot the first time I saw it. It has amazing highlights and has good performances, and once again tackles with its primary themes with what made Jurassic Park a special highlight in film history. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in 2018 I felt initially indifferent with. I find the premise to be a refreshing direction. While the idea of bringing dinosaurs in the mainland was done, or at least attempted in the Lost World, this time they do take advantage of the idea, eventually build up on the possibilities that carry over to Dominion. The hiring of J.A. Bayona as the director is a fitting choice, given his resume being the horror film The Orphanage and the drama survival Netflix film, Society of Snow. The character of Maisie takes a little too much focus and feels like an afterthought than being tied to what the title promises, and there are some questionable plot holes with the rest of the characters. Overall, I think it's okay, and feel it's better than JP3. Jurassic World Dominion in 2022, I really wanted to like a lot over the World films. After setting the new groundwork with Fallen Kingdom's foreboding conclusion, it suddenly takes a nosedive into multiple stories that don't coherently gel with its plot. Dinosaurs ruling the world that would have given us potential on social and economic issues with how the dinosaurs affect our lives. This should be the focus. Instead, we get locusts. Because that's exciting! And once again, Maisie gets more focus, with more exposition that comes off as needless. There are still some good things to admire, though. The animatronics are very spectacular, like real Jurassic Park. And when the original JP Illuminae are on screen, they are entertaining to watch, and the only time we see the impact with dinosaurs on the mainland, it's in Malta. Bottom line, Dominion is overwhelming, but not the worst film. I don't know if I could call it my least favorite or not, but I will say it's still watchable, if you just want to lower your expectations. Can't say it's bad as, oh, I don't know, fucking Halloween ends. Finally, we get to Jurassic World Rebirth. After seeing the movie from beginning to end, I can say that the movie is just okay. Once again, not as good as the first, but not as bad as the other World sequels. What you see is what you get. Humans going to an island and into the jungles and encounter dinosaurs. There is a humble human being who offers to contribute to the main heroes and/or dinosaurs, who turns out to be an antagonist who does things for money. But that's not what you're in for. You're here for the dinosaurs, and even heart-pounding action and suspense to boot. Speaking of which, the suspense scenes are a real nail-biter. Many instances when any of the prehistoric threats close in on a potential victim before they get out. The cinematography is breathtaking. Being shot on location in Thailand, you can see how dense the jungles are, and it captivates the viewer and lends itself to many gorgeous set pieces. The human characters are all decent, if not predictable. Oh, and from here on, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, stop here to watch the movie, then come back after. Scarlett Johansson delivers a convincing presence with her no-nonsense attitude. Dr. Henry Loomis and Duncan Kincaid are likable, and Rupert Krebs does a convincing job as a deceptive and cowardly pharmaceutical executive, Martin Cribbs. The Delgado family, consisting of the father Reuben, eldest daughter Teresa, and younger daughter Isabella, are more interesting and surprisingly sympathetic. As far as families in the Jurassic Park films go, I love their dynamic together as they have to watch out for one another in the jungles. The only one character I didn't like is Teresa's boyfriend Xavier. He's meant to be the comic relief, but some dialogue that were supposed to be laughable, but only cringe, such as the part when he asks for weed. It started as a chuckle for me, only to become cringe-worthy. Now the main reason to watch this movie is, of course, the dinosaurs. My initial feelings to the lineup is interesting and refreshing, and are portrayed with enough screen time to shine and scare too. You have your familiar faces such as T-Rex, Compies, Dilophosauruses, Ankylosauruses, and Velociraptors. I love the T-Rex's portrayal. It's so nice to have a Tyrannosaurus that's terrifying. Even though it appears once, it is still one hell of a ride. I'm happy they finally have the river raft sequence from the Michael Crichton novel, beautifully translated onto the big screen. The T-Rex is not fast as Rexy from the previous movies, but the build-up and close call as it pursues submerge underwater at the Delgados is unsettling, making you wonder what unexpected moment will occur. The Raptors are unfortunately a disappointment. There's one incident where they are about to kill Xavier from behind, only to have one of them killed by one of the hybrid creations. But I'll get to it soon. But it sounds like history might be repeating itself. You know what I mean. You're off the hook for now, Spinosaurus! Speaking of which, I love what they did with the Spinosaurus, and even the Mosasaurus, in which the movie establishes they have a symbiotic relationship, in my absolute favorite part in the movie. The Titanosauruses and the return of the Quetzalcoatl are spectacular in their own way, one being slow, gentle, and just sweet, and the other quite terrifying as well. There's also a little Aquilops, if that's how it's pronounced, that Isabel befriends. That's only purpose is to grab a female audience who love cute little creatures like Baby Yoda from Mandalorian. And then we have the two hybrids, Mutodon and Distortus Rex. I'm grateful we didn't have yet another raptor hybrid from previous films like the Indominus Rex and Indoraptor. And though Mutodon is part raptor, it still has a more creative distinction with Pteranodon genes. I'm mixed with the D-Rex. When I saw the initial design, no thanks to the trailer and many TV spots, I felt it's instantly derivative from these types of monsters with multiple limbs and hunched postures. The Cloverfield monster, the alien monster from Super 8, and even the Mutos from Godzilla 2014, also by Edwards. I wish they could have gave us a more creative spin on the T-Rex hybrid concept when they aren't ripping off the Star Wars Rancor. But when it shows up from the beginning and the end, it really is creepy, slightly obscured in darkness, and stalking in yet another slow build, which this movie truly excels with crafting the suspense. Gone with the over-the-top hyper-energy of the Malta bike chase scene from Dominion, and so on, and more lean towards what the original Jurassic Park film is all about when convincing us how terrifying most of the dinosaurs are. In conclusion, Jurassic World Rebirth is an entertaining thrill ride, and a step up from the previous Dominion. Dominion provides a massive epic with a feeling of finality, with fast-paced action, but this one is back to more subdued action, and more to the roots of the first film, which might not please that many who aren't into these slow build films, but I feel some people miss the point of it, and I consider it a companion piece. Gareth Edwards has always been a fan to Spielberg's brand of directing, so Edwards did just that with his films, and so it comes full circle. Rebirth gives you what to expect from a Jurassic film, the grounded themes and the majesty of the dinosaurs. And to tell you the truth, it may be hyperbole, but when the end credits roll in the theater I was in, everybody applauded, which indicates that the series might have plenty enough steam for potential sequels, if there are any. But we'll have to wait to find out. As for me, I'm glad I saw it, and I can't wait for the 4K with bonus material, and eventually an HDKR video too, to see if my opinion changed over time. That's the end of my thoughts, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to see more like this, Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and so on in the tokusatsu genre, as well as Godzilla-adjacent media such as in this particular situation, Dinosaurs. Leave a comment below for suggestions. Please be sure to support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and follow me on Facebook as I share content from this channel and other stuff with you all. Later.